studio, and I am here at 12:09 or 12:07 going live. Because like I always say, it's the only time that I could come on. So the reason I'm on right now is because I am finally going to wrap up the decorations that I've been working on for our home. I did already complete some things that were already on the decorations. The wreath was already outside. The swag was already on the post, but I brought them in just to show you exactly what else it was that we were working on. So the wreath that we have, and I'll actually do a walkthrough afterwards, is this is what I came up with. I know I said that I wasn't gonna add the pinks and the purples, well a lot of the purples, or mainly the pinks until the season went to summer, but it does look a little bit springy, and I'm okay with that. The only difference that I'm gonna make to this, I'm gonna add one more of these bows over here just to complete it a little bit more. And then I have a matching swag, and this swag is going to end up going on the post in front of the house, which I already had it there, but like I said, I took it off because I wanted to show it to you guys. So that's the swag. And today I am going to work on the tobacco basket. Like I said before, we had this tobacco basket that I fell in love with. It was greens with yellows, but it was too small for our mantle. So we ended up purchasing this one from Kirkland's. Absolutely love it. But the only problem with this, in my case, is that we change the decorations with every season. And if I use this decor for this spring and summer, I may not want to use the same exact decor for next year, or even if maybe we want to keep it for, let's say, Thanksgiving or Christmas. So I don't want to pay. Well, it's not so much about what the cost was. It's that the space that a wreath or tobacco basket at this large takes, you are gonna have multiples, and it's an investment in space and that I really can't have right now. So what I like to do is, if you followed me before, you see that I change the decorations for our Christmas. I have the same wreath base. I decorate it, and then at the end of the season, I change it because we change our decorations every single year. This is a new investment for us, this tobacco basket, and we're gonna add the decorations to it, but we're not gonna commit to them. Meaning, I started working on them already. We're gonna be able to change them and swap them out. So I already started working on this. These are the colors that I said last time that we were gonna work on: the lavenders with the greens, the beiges, and some yellows. So I'm gonna work a little bit on it more so you can see me working on it. And then I'm gonna attach it, but you're gonna see that it's gonna be removable. It's not something, like I said, I'm not gonna commit to it because we wanna make sure that I am able to use this same base for other decor, for other seasons, not just for this one. Even though I'll admit this is very neutral, like we said we were gonna do, unlike the swag and the wreath. The swag and the wreath are gonna go outside, and it's totally fine. Hi. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, which I already started. So I'll explain to you what I did. This is floral foam. I put some chenille stems, or also known as pipe cleaners, through it, and we have the two colored hydrangeas, and we have some purple wildflower stems. I'm sorry, picks, and a few fillers in here. So I'm gonna add the yellow to it because that's what I said I was gonna do, and I'm actually gonna stick to it. And then finally, I'm going to add it to the wreath. I'm sorry, to the tobacco basket. So the main thing that we always have to do is, once we have our florals, and I say this every time, you're gonna hear me say this. I'm like a broken record when it comes to this, and I'm actually gonna write an article about this. Is you need good floral wire cutters. If you have a small little wire cutter, you're gonna find that you're gonna end up having to bend the wire back and forth until you finally get it to break, because it really doesn't work. It's the wires are very, very thick, and you're not gonna be able to work with it, and it's gonna be really difficult. So I'm going to just quickly, if it lets me, because it's all getting tangled up here. Sorry. Cut these off. I'm gonna push everything to the end, or to the front, so that way I have more space. And I'm just gonna cut these because I want them to hang. This is going to be hanging over a mantle. So I'm not going to treat this like your regular floral arrangement, even though while I'm working on it, it does look like a floral arrangement. But the difference is that I want to have these pieces hanging at the bottom. So if you see it, it's going to look like that at the end. So right now it looks pretty empty. It looks empty here. So I'm going to fill it up a little bit more, add a little bit more greenery. I'm going to add a little bit more of the yellow. I don't know if I'm feeling the yellow, honestly. I still want it to look a little more neutral, but you know what? Let's just add it. We could always remove it if anything. Because right now I'm not even going to be sticking, I'm not even hot gluing these. So I could remove them and add them to my personal inventory if I want to do something with them later on for another season. So I have these. I'm going to keep adding a few more to them here. And always, whenever you're working with your floral foam, make sure to cover it because it doesn't look pretty. So you're going to use some kind of Spanish moss or reindeer moss and cover it, because if not, you would see that, and you don't want to see that. Okay? So I added a few more. I don't think it's enough yet, but now, and I may end up hot gluing this, but I don't want to waste time right now. I don't want to be on too long because I know it's late. All the night owls that are on with me. And all the videos that I've been working on, I have actually been adding to my website. They're on my YouTube channel, but they're also linked to YouTube through my website. So if you go on livingcraftstudio.com, I have a how-to section. Unfortunately, these videos that are made with, on Instagram, the orientation is going to be a little bit off, but you can still get the idea. So you have this. We're going to add it as well. You just put it in. The correct way to do it is to use hot glue with the glue gun, or if you have one of these, I have a pan where I melt my hot glue sticks, and it makes it a little bit easier, and then I just put it on like that. So I basically just committed to it by doing that. So I'll add that one, and you want it to be even. This is, like I said before, very similar to the way that you would work on a floral arrangement. You want it to be even. This one has the stems on it. This one on the side does not have the spray on it. So I want it to be pretty even. So if that one has a spray on, no spray, I don't want spray on the side. And here I am again, adding glue to it. So I guess we're going to commit to this one. What I'm not going to commit to is attaching it permanently to my tobacco basket. You want it to be full. So then, because I don't want there to be so many sprays coming down, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming. I don't want the sprays to go more than, I don't want the sprays to be sticking up. If you look at that, I think that's enough. So I do have some purple picks that I could add in here that don't have this spray on it. It actually matches the ones that were in, I actually didn't bring up. So I guess we're not doing it. So these guys are in the swag that I have. So I'll have one for now, just to give you an idea, and then afterwards I can work a little bit more on it. But you have this, and just always remember to move your tags. I've done that, or I made items and I forgot to move the tags, and it's not fun afterwards once it's glued on. So if you see that, you could always, I could have one there. Actually, that's two more. And I have one more downstairs. I could get more from my inventory, but I don't want to make you guys wait. So I could add that one. But another way to do it is to just add the greenery. I have tons of greenery. So the fun thing to do is I have these greens here. These are filler flowers. Hi everyone. And I'm gonna cut these and add them. And if you see, they're waterproof artificials. They're green. They have pretty stems on them. They're pretty full. And once I start cutting these off, I could just fill in the area. So that's what I want you to see, that they're pretty full. These, unfortunately, came from my wholesaler, not from a retail store. But I have seen some things that are pretty similar, like at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to keep adding these to the top because even though we're going to be looking up at this, you want it to be pretty full. And whatever I do on the left, do it on the right. Thank you. Awesome. So same thing. I add it to the left. I'm going to add it to the right. I'm going to keep filling it up. I'm sorry that I'm all over the place today. I'm trying to hurry up here. And maybe, see now, like I said, if you add something to the left, you want to add it to the right. So I have this purple guy in here and there isn't a matching one on the side. So it looks kind of empty. So what I'm going to do is, I'll leave it for now because like I said, I'll add it on later on. And I do want the purple, even though the purple's on here, I want it to kind of be reinforced up here. Or maybe we could just take it out. No, we could take it out. But you see that? So what we're missing here really is yellow. We can add more of these yellow picks up here and we're almost done. We're pretty much done. It doesn't have to be crazy full, even though I personally prefer it to be more full. But I'm going to keep adding a couple more of the yellow to tie it in all together. I could add more of the purple, which if you see photos of this later on, it probably will have it because I know myself. And here's the yellow one to match the other side. I showed you this before I came on, but I like you guys to see the process. So we have that one there. We're going to put this one on the opposite side, which is right there, too big. And I think I'm pretty much done. What I would do here is add more greenery to it because I don't like to see the spaces in it. So I have greenery now. We could just add it now since we're all here already. And then that way, if anybody watches the playback, you see the final product in the playback. So I have been having issues trying to determine which greenery I like. I have tons of greenery downstairs. I came up with this one. I guess we're just gonna work with this one. A leather leaf would look nice as well. Let's see. This is leather leaf. This will look nice because it will pull it up, sticking out a little. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, do I have the leather leaf? No, I don't have the leather one. But I do like this guy. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it's one of my favorites. I buy it a lot. So I'm gonna cut 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I push the pick as much as I can to the front because I want it to fill it up as much as possible, or at least look as full as possible. And once you add it, see the difference already, how it looks full? And if it looks too green, because I already have these guys in here, I could just add more of those in the, next to it and fill it up a little bit more. So these are just ideas for you to, when you're decorating your home. That one I cut too short, so I'll put it on here. This one I put there. And see how that filled it up? I have a spot here. No bothers me. Oh, more than work. This is how I work. This is how I'm working on the wreath. And if people ever have placed a custom order for me, they'll tell you that I take a little bit long sometimes. Like an extra week, just because I look at it, I sit back, and I just want to make sure that I'm happy with it, so that way the customer's happy with it. See how much better that looks with that one in there? I'm gonna put this one else in there, and I think now that I have that, we need one more white one in here, and then we should be done. So add one more white. Bottom. And like I said, I'm not gluing these. If I were to be making these permanent, or I could actually, if I decide that I want to keep this and reuse it again some other time, I will come back. I will add glue to these at the bottom with the glue gun, or if not with the glue pot that I have here. And once I stick them in, they'll be permanently in there. But I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll come back if something falls on us, right? So once that's done, how pretty that looks. Actually, I'm happy with that. Okay. So I have my stems here. And what I'm going to do is, I have to determine which side I want this to, well, exactly where. I already pretty much determined where it was going to come through, but now I need to know how high it's going to be. Do I want these to be much lower, hanging over? Do I want them to be a little bit higher? I think about there hanging just a little bit, not too much, just about right. And let me see. This is gonna be fun. This is the fun part. So bear with me. Bear with me. This is center there. It's not cooperating. One side done. And now I'm gonna walk around to do the other side because I don't want to end up breaking things here. Centered. Just trying to make sure that it's centered, and it is. These are the fun parts of making. The little things behind the scenes that nobody sees, the little frustrations, but in the end, once it's all done, feel good. Little tedious things. So now I just gotta make sure that it's centered, which it is not. Oh, it is centered. It's centered. Okay, perfect. Okay. So what do you think? Does it look empty? Because if it's empty, then I'm just gonna start adding space to the top. But it's attached now. Excuse me as I think. So if it looks empty, let's start working, filling up the top here. So I still have some more of these guys. Start working a few more of these. And I personally didn't want to fill up the whole top. I did this on purpose. I wanted it to only be at the bottom. I didn't want it to like overtake the whole basket. I wanted it to just be a little bit, just like a little detail on it. So I'm gonna add more of these guys here. That kind of fills it up a little. Actually, switch those. The middle one should be higher. That's better. I have more of these yellow guys here. And even if I wanted to, I could add a bow to it at the bottom. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as plain as possible. I want to leave it as simple and as neutral as possible because I already went crazy with the reeds even though I said I wasn't going to do that. I'm going to add the yellow one. Add another yellow. I'm just using whatever I have. If I already have it cut, let's just add it. And then we'll call I want that to be even. And now that I have the space here, I want hydrangea in there. Let's fill it up. I don't like seeing empty gaps. Much better. Now we have gaps here. We could add more of this greenery. And I usually, when I'm working, have all my greenery cut in advance if I know that I'm going to commit to it. But since we're going along, making decisions as we go along with this, that's why I'm just cutting things, deciding as I'm working, because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. I think that's it. Do we need more green? Should we add more hydrangeas to this one? Let me step back. I think that's okay. Let's see. It looked better once I added to my mantle. But I do see what to me looks like spaces right here. So I believe do I have more of these guys? I do. We got 2 more of these. So why don't we add them here? So that way they kind of frame it. One more. Now do perfectly even. Yeah, that's nice. That's it. No, it's not. Any more here. So you see what happens? I just keep adding and adding and adding. So now after doing this, I want to add more right here. And unfortunately, I do not have more of these. I do have more of these, but I don't have them up here because I thought that I was going to be happy with more. But I'm not. I'm looking for more. I do have these. Not the pink. Green. Can we add the green? No. Have more yellows. Send the yellow. Because we have it. If we're already working with this, why don't we just finish using it, right? And I have exactly 4 stems, of which one doesn't match exactly, but it's okay. So the creative process, it's okay, especially when it's for yourself. Just have fun with it. Keep going until you're happy. Anybody that knows me knows that I keep going and keep going and keep going until it's time to start changing it for the next season. Hopefully it's happy with this. It's completely different. So now I feel like it needs purple in it because we have this purple down here and I feel like it needs to be tied in somehow. So I already have these. These were part of it. So why not just keep adding them? Because like I said, we already have them. I'm not using a brand new stem. It's not costing me any more to do it. Excuse me, I just dropped this. So why not just add it? So I'm gonna count them, see exactly how many of these I have left. And I actually have quite a few of them. I just keep dropping them. Meaning, how many stems do I have? So I have here, this is 1. I have 2. That's 2. I could do something with these little ones here. These would be a nice filler. Only have 2? That's not nice. 3. I'm not going to use this one anymore. Let's put that aside. The other one keeps wanting to come in, but I'm kind of done with it for now. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this stuff all the way up as much as I can because I want you to be able to see the purple. And I don't know if I can do this with this push. I'm gonna just cut out whatever. It's not gonna be so much, but it's just gonna be a little hint of purple. So I'm gonna stick it in there. I'm gonna place it here so that way it kind of ties everything together, because we have all this lavender down here and there isn't any up here, which is okay. With the grouping, that's fine. But I personally, I don't know, I want to see. I'm a purple. If you see my stuff, I'm always purple. So, purple and shades of it. I'm just gonna keep adding. I wish I had more of the thicker ones. And I do. So we add these two on the top and then we'll finish. That kind of ties it in together. This one we'll put up here. See now. It's okay to change things. If you change your mind, it's okay. That one makes more sense there. Or does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, so this one's gonna go here now. It's all about the final product looking good. You are gonna go back to where you were. And this guy. I lost the one I just took out. Oh. This guy's gonna go here. That's too much. If the picks have too much on them, feel free to break them apart. When I first started making wreaths, I never ever used to take them apart. I used to just use them as was. If I bought this big bush, however it was, I used to just throw it in the wreath exactly as it was, or throw it in the Christmas tree exactly as it was. And it's okay to change them. There's no rule that says that you can't break them. And I never did that part. So now I could just play with it a little bit. Once I added that final one, and just try to see how, just move things around a little bit, meaning twisting the branches a little bit to make sure that they fill up the space better. But this is finished. This is what we're gonna put on our mantle. And I'm happy with it because it ties into the wreath that I have. The only thing that it's missing, and this why, is the pink. If I was daring, and it doesn't have the ribbon, so if I was daring enough, I could try to add this ribbon to it. It'll work. Even add to the side, add to the bottom, or even add some pink flowers to it, and it'll really tie everything in together. Because, like I said, everything matched. The only thing that didn't really so much, that was missing a few colors, was this piece that's gonna go over the mantle, and it's missing the pink, and it's missing more of the purple, which stood out a little bit more in the swag, which is right here. And it's all because of the ribbon. The ribbon has the pink and it has the purple. If I threw those pink flowers in here, it would make a huge, huge difference. So that's it. I just wanted to show you a way of making an item that you don't have to commit to, and you can switch every single season. So this tobacco basket, we're gonna be using it for avocados, different places. But just because I decided to go with this palette, it doesn't mean that I can't use it any other season. If I decided to work on Christmas, hey, maybe for Christmas I'll end up putting Christmas ornaments on it or something else. But the point is that this arrangement that I just created here, it is not going to be permanently attached to it. It's not hot glued to it. If you have purchased a tobacco basket from me, that's permanent. It's not going to come off. But this guy, it's too big to have a permanent floral arrangement or a floral palette to it, just because it's so big, and then I'll have to buy another one, and really, where am I going to put all of these? It's too much. So that's it. Just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for standing with me for a little bit and sharing your time and your Thursday night. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and thank you so much. Take care. Bye. So it's a few days later, and I decided that I was not happy with our tobacco basket. Basically, I felt that I did not add enough florals to it. What I said to myself was, would I ship this to a customer? And the answer was no. The answer was that it was empty. It felt very empty to me. So I decided that if I would not ship that to a customer, why would I keep that for ourselves? It's time to start treating yourself as well as you treat your customers, right? So here is the final product. What ended up happening was, well, to the design was that I added, the original design pretty much stopped here, and what I did was I added all of these at the end, and I added a lot more of the lavender color picks to it to fill it up. Now, had I decided to add these items before, in the beginning, the arrangement would have popped out a lot more and it would have stuck out more on the sides. But being that I added it after the fact, a lot of the stems were already cut, and pretty much I had to work with what I had. But you know, once you get started, I started adding more of the yellows, like I said, more of these beige and the green hydrangeas to it, and a lot more of the lavender colored picks. So you'll see that there. Just so you have an idea. So I said, let me be good to us. I try to do the best for our customers, so why not do the same for myself, right? And then finally, as I do with every item that I ship out, I added a little hanger to it. Just to make life easier when I'm trying to put it up. See that? So even the tobacco baskets, when I ship them out, they might not look perfect, they might be a little bit funky, but I add that to the back just so that it's easier to add. So I'm gonna add this back. And remember, this isn't secure. This isn't hot glued the way it is when I send them out to my customers, because I wanted to make this so that I could change it every season. So this tobacco basket, I guess we might be doing white for the holidays, for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure, maybe, or maybe for Christmas. I know we are gonna do ivory for Christmas, but this is not something that is glued on here. So I'm gonna add it now. Put it back up the way it was. And be careful when you do this. There it goes. Add the hanger, guys. It makes life way easier when you add a hanger. Maybe not be perfect, but. So finally, once I had the tobacco basket completed, remember, my original idea for this was that I did not want to have to remove all of our crystals. We have all these beautiful crystals that we like to collect, and last year we had put them away for the holidays, and I don't want to do that again. So in order to be able to use the space with the crystals and tie in the tobacco basket, what I did was I used the same exact florals that I had in the tobacco basket, and all I did was lay them out. So I didn't make a garland, I didn't do anything fancy. All I did was cut them and place them. And you'll notice that, but I was a bit strategic the way I placed them. What I did was I had, let's say, the green one, put 1, 2, 3, both one on each end, one in the middle. Then I moved on to the beige ones. So you want to kind of mirror what you do on one side, try to do it on the opposite, and then I pretty much accented with these. And all I did was cut a bush, kind of twist it because they fall over, and then add them up here. Same thing with these yellow ones. They're just placed, so they're not permanent. Remember, a lot of my designs that I make from my home are not permanent. I take everything apart again at the end of the year and I reuse the bases. So that's pretty much it. That was the final product of what we had. So I wasn't happy with with what I put up last time. That's why I made this added video to it. And now you get to see the complete final, tobacco basket, in addition to how we finally decorated the mantle. So I hope this helps someone, and keep decorating. Thanks so much. Bye.